Well, hello Dirtfish Rally friends. This weekend is all about the Logiman Mythical Cars Rally. Look at this, it's going to be a wonderful celebration of rallying from the early 90s right through until 2020. So many great cars, some great characters here this weekend. You know what I think we're going to do? We're going to go down there into the service park, have a wander around and see who we might find. Look, there's a familiar face already. That just looks to me like trouble, doesn't it? That is the legend, Andrea Adamo. We'll catch up with him very shortly. Look at this, I made my way down into the service park and David Evans, the first man I bump into. Guys, you know, this is what this is all about. It's all about, you can hear the music. It's a festival.
I don't know this song though.
This isn't very 90s, is it? It might be noughties. Might be noughties. Not quite sure about that.
Maybe even teens.
But it is what it's all about. It's a celebration, it's a festival. It's about just having fun and enjoying some of these wonderful cars. David, tell us about the criteria for the cars here this weekend.
Well, the criteria seemed to move a little bit, didn't it?
A little bit.
There were some great cars, then there were some really good cars, and it was going to be mid-90s, 95, 96, then we got a 94 car, so 94. Basically, it's early to mid-90s, all the way through till 2021, the end of the... What we actually, in Britain, we never called WRC Plus.
No.
But we called them 17 cars, which is a bit weird because they went all the way to 21.
Absolutely. No, that's right. There was never a name that we did. WRC Plus is quite good. I quite like that. We'll call it that from now on, shall we? Really, it's everything post Group B, isn't it? And
no,
then...
it's not, because that's the point, Cole. I was just 87. Group A was just, it wasn't really all that, was it?
No, that's true.
So,
it was when Group A got good.
So I've written a piece which you can read on dirtfish.com, and it said that Group B cast a really big shadow over rallying as it departed, because Group A was terrible through 87, 88.
And were the kind of rules and regulations that were thrown together very quickly? Was that, that maybe the issue?
No, Group A had always been very sort of rigid in the fact that it had to use sort of road cars. It was very much a road car based class. So no, it just came. Group B obviously was so special. Built 200, built 20 evolutions of it. They were rocket ships. And then suddenly, what was it? Christian Geisdorfer famously said, "We've stepped off a rocket onto a bicycle," and that was Group A. So we kind of, and this is the brilliance of Andrea Adamo, that everybody's gone on Group B. There's so many Group B festivals, and we love Group B. We always will. But the mid-90s Group A was when Group A really took off. Subaru, Mitsubishi, Toyota.
Tommy Mäkinen.
Lancia has sort of departed. Colin McRae in his absolute pomp. That was an era that was just as strong as Group B, and now this festival it's what it's all about.
Celebration. Do you know what that kind of says to me? Is that yes, it's absolutely about the cars, but sometimes it's about the level of competition. If you put the greats into really any formula of cars, you're going to have memorable rallying, aren't you?
Of course
and that's
you
what's
are.
right. Tell us a bit about this one though, David. This is one of our WRC Plus cars.
This is a 17 car, Cole.
WRC Plus car, David, as we've renamed them.
It was a 2018 car. Obviously, it's a factory. They were all factory cars. C3, WRC3.
Whoop, sorry about that. Listen.
WRC3, C3 WRC. It's the car, I can't remember, it must have been driven by Sébastien Ogier, somebody like that. They are awesome cars. You look at them and they do remind you completely of Group B, don't they? All of the wings, all of the
and the little winglets, like these little bits here, and wonderful. This is a great thing to see. Birchu's back out again. Birchu in the no, that's
R4.
a Rally 4.
No, it's an R4.
R4, sorry, not Rally 4.
The kit made by Orica. So basically, it's a front-wheel drive car, and Orica produces kit which gave them a rear diff and new engine bits, and it's a kit car within the shell. So you could take that kit from Orica. They would give you a different size prop shaft, so it could be anything. It was one size fits all, but sadly it didn't fit at all.
It was an exciting project, David. It never really took off. It was another one of those that never took off. Listen, we've almost come past a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. This reminds me of one of my greatest ever moments at a stop line. We were in Cyprus, It was 2011 at the start of the rally. I think Neuville could have won the championship. Who else was there? There was Hannanen could have won the championship. Mikkelsen was very much the outsider. Had a dreadful start to the year. He had to win the last two events, Scotland and Cyprus. Double points in Scotland, or points and a half in Scotland, double in Cyprus.
Let me tee you up. As the sun sets,
the star rises. Oh, it was just a beautiful moment.
That was the highlight of your career, I think.
No, but it was just, do you know, sometimes in life things just grab you, and it just grabbed me at that moment, at that stop line. It was wonderful.
Super 2000,
wonderful.
Before the precursor to all of R5 Rally 2, so that thing's going to scream this weekend.
Oh, it's going to be great to see as well. Another one that's going to be great to see. It's wonderful to see Marcus and Timo Rautiainen back together again. Now, you might say, well, Marcus brought home Subarus. Yes, there was.
And no, I mean, one event, Portugal, you know, it's not, you would probably take Gronholm in a 206. That, you know, that was the car he won his 2 championships in.
That's awfully noisy, that, isn't it?
Yes, he was a Peugeot man, obviously a Ford man as well, but it doesn't matter. You know, the fact is it's Gronholm and Rautiainen back together again, and it's a very cool car.
2008 Subaru World Rally car, S14, that one. Now, do you know who owns this car here? This is a beautiful, beautiful Hyundai World Rally car, owned by Yves Maton. Yves Maton, the former boss of rallying at the FIA.
And former team principal at Citroën, of course.
Absolutely. Beautifully presented. It looks now better than when it was on the stages 20 years ago. It's amazing how
Just have a quick look at the detail in here. You know, the reservoirs for the Öhlins, for the dampers there, and the VIN plate, everything is absolutely perfect.
Do you know what would be really interesting? You look at the engine compartment, David, in a new car, maybe even in the 2017 Citroën, and there's so much, it seems as if there's so much less. This seems so
The thing that you've noticed first, Colin, is everything is so much lower.
Yeah.
You know, this was just around the time that Christian Loriot was bringing that 2000 Subaru with everything on the floor.
Absolutely. Now, Nick Seaman there in the Skoda, great to see again. You know, there's such a wonderful variety of cars. This is one that absolutely is going to get the fans excited. That man at the back there is going to get the fans excited. Alistair McRae. Let's go grab a word with Al in the wonderful, wonderful Group A. Now, Alistair, a very good morning.
Hold it yourself. Yes. Allow me to be your mic holder, Alistair.
And my leg's a bit tired.
No.
Alistair McRae. Now, I believe you've been
Yes,
out this
Colin.
morning. Lovely to see you, Alistair.
Good to see you
You've
too.
come a long way for this event, and there's a lot of people that are coming out this weekend just to enjoy you on the stages.
Are they?
They really are. They really are.
You're putting the pressure on.
A little bit, but we know how much fun you're going to have, and that's what the McRae family have always been about with rallying. Tell me about this car. Tell me, you've had a wee run in it this morning so far?
Yeah, we've done 3 runs in the shakedown, and the car feels really good. Probably better than what it was back in the day, because obviously you've got slightly different suspension. The engine feels a little bit stronger, but no, just good fun, nice to drive. Feel quite at home in it.
That's fantastic. Because it's not a replica. We're not allowed to call it a replica. It's a continuation. So they've brought, obviously they've worked to the regulations, but in terms of the electronics, the braking system, and all the rest, the suspension, they've upgraded all of those things.
Yeah, no, I mean, it runs on Riker suspension. Obviously now, if you look at the 25 years ago, the electronics, the way they controlled the engine, they can do it much better now. So the engine does feel strong. The gearbox is the same ratios, the same internals, but because magnesium doesn't last for 25 years.
What is that?
I think that the owner of the car, it's a friend of the owner of the car, it's his energy drink.
Excellent.
I'm scared to try it, in case I get too excited.
You're
Good for you, your age, isn't it?
never sure what's going
It
to be
send
in
you
those
over the
things.
edge when you're at 50 plus.
Tell me about the event though. You've had a wee look at the stages. Stages look great out there, Alistair.
Yeah, I mean, pretty tricky. The shakedown's on probably the fastest, smoothest part of any stage of the rally, which always seems to be the same in a shakedown. But it feels good. I mean, the car feels good. Stages, I think they'll be quite interesting, especially the first one tonight. It's going to be in, not dark, but maybe dusk, quite narrow, technical, but looking forward to it.
Well, we're all looking forward to seeing you. And Stu Loudon back with you again this weekend. It's good to see you. How's he getting on?
He's getting on really well, and
Good.
Tunnock's taste as good as ever.
They do. They really do. We'll leave you to it. I'll try to take
worries.
that back off you. There we are. Give it back to David. It's a great project. Now, we've got a little video on YouTube. Is it going on YouTube? Facebook. Have a look on our Facebook page. We've got a video where we look more closely at this whole project. It is fascinating and a wonderful tribute to, well, to the McRaes and to this wonderful
Can
car.
we just get a quick shot of Stewie with the baseball cap on back to front now?
Sorry, apologies. Yeah, Stu. Good to see you, Stu. You're trying hard. You're trying hard to keep the youthful look.
Yeah.
Am I trying a little harder?
Yeah. I'm just doing it trying to hide my receding hairline.
Have you parked your skateboard over there?
It's not just that though. It is really. It's the sun's quite hot out here, and you've got to watch the wee bit of balding apple, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Especially me being from Glasgow, I've got to watch. I'm just too pale for it. Far too pale.
How good is it to be in this car this weekend? You've had a wee run and shakedown. It's quite a handful, isn't it?
I couldn't tell you the last time I smiled so much in a rally car. I was 7 when Colin won the World Championship, and so this car was like a boyhood dream of mine. I've never sat in one anything like it before, apart from I've been in a Legacy, but nothing like this. And this is just mega. It's absolutely mega.
You're from the same part of the world, aren't you? Kind of not far away from Lanarkshire.
Yeah, just 20 minutes away from where Colin lived. So yeah, it's home away from home, being with Alistair. So it's great fun. We're having good fun, good crack in the car as well.
Good to see you boys here this
few
weekend.
tea cakes as well? Not you.
No, I'm a racing snake. There's 1 or 2 tea cakes and caramel wafers kicking about here somewhere.
We might have had one earlier. Look at this is the coolest helmet. The coolest
We've done that
helmet
already, Colin?
I think as a Scotsman in all of rallying the tunnels. What do we call it? Is there a name for the helmet?
This is my caramel wafer helmet. This is the 3rd edition. I've done milk chocolate tea cake, dark chocolate tea cake, and now caramel wafer.
And the stage?
And the stage is Onampoya, my favourite stage in the world.
Oh, magic stuff, Stewie. Great to see you. David, you're pointing something else out.
No, just the first of our 306 Maxis. One of the... He's quite literally dropped the mic.
No, I dropped the mic because I saw someone really important and they've run off.
Let's go over the road.
Is this the Maxi?
There's loads of them over here. Let's go over the road.
You were telling me about the Maxi though, David, because I'm not quite so up to date. You're more of a 90s man than I am, and an early noughties man. The Maxi was an interesting concept, wasn't it? And it was almost an accidental concept. Is that right?
Yeah, because obviously.
Oh.
Do you want to grab some and bring them down? We'll put them on before this afternoon.
Yes. Yeah. That's
David Evans has kindly decided to donate his life savings as sponsorship.
Oh, he's a good lad, isn't he?
He said that if you put some stickers on there, that I will personally pay for Maxi's rallying for the next 5 years. And
if you're listening, Steve,
and
none
we
of
can
that
pay
happened.
him back whenever. No, you personally, no, Dirtfish.
When you said personally, I knew you were telling me porkies, because there's no way. Alistair McRae's a wee troublemaker, David Evans, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, we were talking about the Maxi concept, and you were explaining it to me this morning.
They were kit cars, Cole. So there was the opportunity to build 2-wheel drive cars in Group A, and basically they could run what were essentially touring car engines.
Wow.
You know, with 300 horsepower, massive amounts of torque, massive amounts of power. Obviously, you know, no restricted. It wasn't the same as a turbo engine. So for some rallies, the engine worked an absolute treat.
Wow.
And in certainly late 90s, people like Colin McRae that were doing a full championship were really fed up.
Yeah.
When Citroen came along with its Zara kit car, Delacour Panizzi came in 306 Maxis, and they were taking points. They weren't doing a full championship. They were doing Corsica, Sanremo, Catalunya tarmac rounds, and taking points away. But they were absolute screamers.
And they were great to watch, and they've got an amazing following, haven't they? People are really, really into it.
I think it's, again, much as the whole Plus concept is a European concept.
Stop.
Elliot, just
Stop.
watch you.
No, I tell you what, folks, Elliot's just about to walk into the traffic. We really don't want
Walk
that.
backwards
We
into
are
the
going to head across. You see that little service area across there? Full of beautiful cars, Porsches, all sorts of lovely cars. That's where we're headed. See you shortly.
So that was the thing, Colt, that we didn't really get the Plus concept in Britain, and we didn't really get the kit car concept because they were. We're predominantly we run gravel rallies in Britain.
Right, and they weren't.
You know, occasionally get one in Ulster or somewhere, but they weren't really massive for us. Certainly never came to Rally GB.
No, they were absolutely in their prime on the tarmac. Look at this. We were saying, there are Porsches. Doesn't this look absolutely gorgeous? There's something about the look of a Porsche. More importantly, there's something about the sound of a Porsche in the stages. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this weekend. It is just under 80 kilometres, 7 stages. Do you know what? They're testing. They're tricky. They're bumpy. They're quite narrow in places. It'll be entertaining watching this beast going through, David.
We've recce'd the whole route, Cole, and there is an awful lot of. They're not just bumps in the braking area. They're actual proper undulations, compressions. You would be a fairly brave guy, or brave driver, to be taking this thing.
I love it. I remember standing at stop lines. I remember once in, I think it was Germany, where we had the Porsches, and it was Jenny Girardet and it was Alsace.
Yeah,
oh my
Delacour.
goodness me, the sound of the Porsches coming through the stages in the World Championship.
The car that helped create Sebastian Loeb.
There you go, Citroen Saxo, beautiful thing, isn't it? And this is the great innovation about this weekend. Yes, it's a festival, everyone enjoying themselves, there's plenty of coffee, there's plenty of food, but there's such a wonderful variety of cars. Another little Saxo.
It is, like we've said, it's a walk through the modern history of the World Rally Championship, isn't it? From 94 onwards.
Do you think in some ways, David, that these cars, because of the in terms of people's affections, the dominance of Group B, when you look historically, maybe some of these cars don't get the love they deserve?
Massively overlooked. But for me, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but looking at these cars now, 306 Maxi and a 207 S2000, they don't look right when they're not in period colours, do they?
Well,
that does.
Yeah, looks great.
Remember Anton Allen in your Grande
Good
Punto?
morning. How are you?
And again, all the way through, beautiful Clio
Beautiful.
S2000
Really
car.
beautiful car. Now,
Super 1600 car, sorry.
talk about cars that evoke emotions. You know, these cars here were just quite remarkable. The
The
Lancers.
Delta HF Integrale, known as the
Look
Deltona.
at that, look at the fuel tank in the back of that as well, David.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that's,
Yeah,
well,
quite a bit of welding as well in there.
moving on.
But a great looking car. I love these. I love these when I started doing stage ends. The little
Piggy Anderson.
little Piggy Anderson and the
Yeah,
Suzuki
Super 1600.
screaming. I love
Yeah.
the sound of the Super 1600s. Not everyone did. High revving. I love the sound of them.
This is the.
Oh yeah,
the
let me have a
point.
bit of focaccia. Why not? Oh, hello. So that I'll have a little piece of focaccia. I've got a big piece of focaccia. I'm very sorry.
As Colin tests
No.
the
Oh, I
focaccia,
love an olive. Can I try an
The
olive?
point is that not
Thank
only
you.
will we see
Grazie.
amazing cars this weekend, but you'll hear them, and you hear the evolution from the flat four boxer engine of the Subaru all the way through. Group A cars were unbelievably loud at times, all the way through to the screaming Super 1600s and 2000s.
The olive was magnificent. The bread, I'm not so sure about. I might feed the ducks, David. That would be rude, wouldn't it?
It would.
What else have we got? I mean, how many cars, David, have we got this
There
weekend?
are 37. This was the issue that Andrea, the Logiman Mythical Cars Rally advisor, he really had an issue that so many people wanted to come and do this rally, but as you can see, there is no room in Varzi. Varzi is full of the best rally cars in the world.
It really is. I was telling you
Including
earlier
this
on.
one. This is my point, Cole. This wasn't a factory car, because obviously it would have been Martini colours.
Jolly Club car.
But it was a Jolly Club car. It was just Carlos's colours. Doesn't
Brilliant.
it look amazing?
Just absolutely brilliant.
It brings it to life, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know, the rally itself, 78 kilometres, 7 stages. It starts this evening, Friday evening. We have a 6.6 kilometre opening stage, and then tomorrow we have just over 70 kilometres, 45, 46 or so miles
But
of
the whole
competitive
point
distance.
of that, though, tomorrow, we don't start till 20 past 11.
And the other point that needs to be made is that we don't go more than, I think the furthest liaison to get from service to the stage is about 12 kilometres.
Yeah.
You know, one of the stages, the longest stage of the rally,
Ends
finishes in Varzi, just over the hill in Varzi, literally just the other side of the main street in Varzi. It is a fantastic concept. And the concept is not just about putting on a rally, not just appreciating these wonderful rally cars. It's about people having fun for the whole weekend, and
You
I
can
love
feel
it.
You know, Torstein Eriksson just came in and chatted to us, and he said you come from the pressure of Portugal, you're going to the pressure of Sardinia, which, you know, is literally next week. And you come here and it's completely relaxed, and
Really
everybody.
relaxed. I love this.
is
I love
just
the
having
colours of this car. Are you reading that? If you can read this, we have a problem. That was me on the simulator last night, upside down too often. David, we'll finish with this car here. Great looking car.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely, Cole. And I'm a little bit mystified because I remember Craig Breen driving this car recently. I thought Breenio owned this
Was it
car.
Rally Legends? No, where was it? He
Yeah, it was Legends,
And he
wasn't
pinged
it?
the back of it, didn't he?
But it was a fantastic car, built by RED. Obviously, it was an ex-factory car. RED were one of the biggest satellite teams in rallying based out of Widnes in Britain.
Yeah.
Originally run by, it would have been Patrick Snyers.
Ah, there you go. Do you know what? Everywhere you go, you're coming across old friends. Good to see you all. You're looking, well, maybe not as good as normal. Folks, it's not all about cars this weekend. As we've talked about, it's about the atmosphere. There's lots of other attractions. Some great merchandise available here.
Are those a bit of you, Cole? I quite like
I
those.
tell you what is a bit of me. Come in here into the Sparkle. I absolutely love some of this Martini merchandise. Do you know what? It's just...
Oh, no,
for me, it's
out the way.
classic.
Look. Oh, my goodness me. I will not be leaving Valtzy without a woolly jumper that has Martini Racing on.
That's cool. That's really cool. You know, they've got the overalls, and now one of our other journalist friends has got one of these, so I might not be buying
No,
one
but
of
that'll
those.
be bigger than his.
But do you know what? If you're traveling a lot on an airplane, is there a cooler airplane pillow than that? I'm not sure there is. I think that is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, so come down, have a little look, Sparkle. I like this jacket as well. Take a look at this. Do you think that would suit me, Elliot? Is that a bit of me with a sort of? Is that a bit of me? I think that's a bit of me. I really do. Good price for me as a Scot. Oh, hello there. How are you? Nice to see you, Anna Andreucci.
Yeah.
Anna is an absolute co-driving legend. How many? No, how?
I was
You were. How many times were you Italian champion?
11.
11 times Italian co-driving champion. It's lovely to see you, Anna. And I love her even more now she said a good price for me on that. We'll catch up later on. Oh, what an absolute delight. That was a wee surprise. With Paolo Andreucci.
Simulators, Colin, how did they go?
Yeah, we'll forget that. So we had a little go on the simulators yesterday. I was absolutely shockingly bad. David was just bad. The only
Elliot was brilliant.
the only one who was decent was cameraman Elliot, and he wasn't just decent. He was actually pretty good, really pretty good. Let's go along this way. Lots of people turning up. All the cars coming into town and the bikes. Now, we spoke with Alistair earlier on. We talked about the Imprezas, and you can see on our Facebook page a little feature we did with the Imprezas, the best Imprezas. It's a great story.
Number 4. Yeah,
It's a great story. There's 8 of them. Find out the story behind this wonderful livery on our Facebook
I have
page.
to say, I'm disappointed that I don't remember Biasion driving this car. ART, Alessandro Racing Technology.
There you go.
I remember the company, but I don't remember Biasion driving it in '95
Right.
at all.
There you go. Well, you need to ask around. Ask Adamo. Adamo
Yeah,
will know. Adamo's
Champion
bound to. This is a
Chelsea
very
now.
evocative car, David, isn't it?
First time I went to New Zealand.
I was going to say, yeah.
And it looks awesome. You know,
I think it looks
actually,
amazing.
This was not one of my favourite Imprezas. Well, this was one. Was it a bug-eyed one?
What
They called
year
it
is this?
bug-eyed?
This is before. This is 2001.
Yeah.
2001 car. So I had the road-going version of this that had all the livery on it, and I loved the look of it. I hated driving it, David. Why? Why did I hate driving
Why
it?
did you hate driving it, Cole? Sorry.
Turbo lag. I mean, the
Really?
power.
Less of a problem on this
So I had
side.
the STI, so not just
Yeah.
the WRX, the WRX STI. Oh my goodness me, for someone with as little skill as me, it was a real handful, but my goodness me, I got a few looks. People jumping out of their cars and taking pictures when I was filling it up at service stations. It was very odd.
Petter Solberg's car as well. If it's not going to be Colin McRae or Richard Burns, it has to be Petter Solberg.
This is another one, David. We talked about this earlier, didn't we, about how maybe they divide opinion a little bit, but my goodness me.
It's got a presence, hasn't it?
It's got a presence, and it's got...
Largely because it's massive.
But look at the lines. It's got a very rounded look to it, hasn't it? It's got something really quite appealing because it's different.
I never liked it. I absolutely adored the ST185 and the 165. This was just too big for me, and it just fundamentally it didn't work. You know, hideous understeer from the where the engine was, and ultimately this we see it's the San Remo car, but this was the car that brought shame.
Was this the
Toyota.
cheating car I was going to say?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
In Catalunya 95,
Right.
this was the car that was found out.
And it was found out because it was such a bad car, wasn't it? And they had to go to
No,
extremes.
it was found out in the previous round in Australia,
Yeah.
where they went off the line in Langley Park side by side, and this thing just left everything
Rocket.
for dead.
Yeah.
Suddenly out of nowhere, they discovered another 100
Yeah.
or million horsepower or something.
But supposedly the reason that they went with that incredibly innovative...
And this is a real disappointment.
Design.
Carl. We've
What?
both come here to get our tattoos done, to lie on the bench over there, and there's nobody here to do them.
So we were saying yesterday, I have never come to a service park with a pop-up tattoo shop, but that's exactly what this is. When I saw it yesterday, I thought it was those your transfer tattoos that you can wash off. Oh no, that's
You want a
proper
steering wheel?
tattoos. Well, do you know what? My steering wheel's perfectly fine, but you know, if I needed another one, this is where I'd get one
Nice,
from.
nice suede Williams wheel. We don't really do Formula One though. Let's move on.
Martini
That would be
Racing again,
Yeah,
David.
good
Would that
man.
look nice in your Volvo?
It would.
I'm not so sure.
Not so
Yeah,
sure.
so there we are, folks. Lots and lots and lots to see this weekend. There are cars, there's music, there's
Yep.
food, there's entertainment. There is all sorts going on.
If
in
you're
the
not driving,
centre.
there's some amazing wine.
Yeah, there's some amazing wine, but you know, it's
You
dead
tried a
easy.
spritz for the first time?
I did, and it was quite nice. A little bit bitter, but
Yeah.
quite nice. I quite enjoyed it, quite refreshing. But lots to see. Lots to see. The main attraction is clearly the cars and the rallying, and you can see plenty of that on Saturday. But it's just a place to come and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy this wonderful festival of rallying that is the
Logiman Mythical Cars Rally.